My second story today is on my community college experience. Now, I would say the hardest thing for me for community college was not necessarily the academics or joining student life. It was always about what was next. Because pretty much as a community college student, I felt that you heard where I was going, my whole college application process, which I underwent in my high school senior year for 2 years later. It was really hard. What I got from community college is I really figured out what I wanted to do, which helped me so much when I transferred. When I was a senior in high school, before I was kicked out 7 or 8 months beforehand, I wanted to be an attorney. I know it sounds weird that attorney went from business person. So I got very fortunate. I was working pushing carts to the Giant, and the attorney who was wearing shorts and a polo, which I didn't believe he was an attorney. I looked him up on Google just to make sure. He gave me his business card and said, "I want you to come to the office. I need a file clerk." And I was like, this is great. I wanted to be an attorney. What better way to find out if I like working in a law office than working in a law office doing filing? I probably shouldn't have gotten the job because I showed up in holey jeans and a polo shirt. So I learned, he actually gave me a lot. He actually criticized me on how badly my resume was written and how I dressed. So I learned some valuable lessons from that. And in the first week, I learned, don't get into a divorce. So I got like 2 laughs in here. And within the year, I realized I didn't want to be an attorney. So that life I wasn't about that life. So when I when I transitioned from South Lakes to Nova, I said I wanted to be a business administration major. And God knows what that means, because I definitely didn't. So literally, I thought business administration major was at the time as some type of clerical position. And I was a Department of Rehabilitation Services client. So I put on my career goal that I wanted to be a manager. Now, also, why I put that as my career goal, I don't know, because I could barely manage my life at the time. I had just been kicked out like 2.5 months earlier. But that's what I wanted to be. So I did business administration for my first year. Didn't know what that was and didn't know really what I wanted to do with that until my second year, where I got involved in student life, and I pretty much came to a meeting where they offered me free pizza, and they didn't have anyone else to fill that position, which is vice president of marketing. So I lucked out that day in September, and they were like, "You're vice president of marketing for the International Honor Society at Nova for Phi Theta Kappa, and here's some free pizza." I was like, this is great. I had no idea how to market. I had no idea even really what I got myself into. But it was the best 8-month experience of my life, because I really figured out that, you know what, I really did like marketing, and I was actually pretty decent at it. I really liked that I could gather a whole bunch of students in one room and make a difference for the campus, or put on an event that still exists today, actually. Events such as Nova Cram Week and Nova's Got Talent. And that's how I figured out that I liked marketing. I didn't necessarily figure out what I wanted to do, but I was able to put in front of manager now for my, how they renew your career goals every year, to marketing manager. It's a great moment. In March of my second year, about a month before I had to make that decision to transfer to either GMU or somewhere else, I went to a scholarship, not a scholarship dinner, an awards dinner called Who's Who Among American Scholars. And I met a girl there who was a sister of the student ambassador I worked with, who was a graduate of a school called the University of Virginia McChare School of Commerce, which ranks the 2nd best business school in the country right now. And she was saying, "Josh, you like business. Why not transfer there? It's in-state tuition." And she had me there right there, but I had no idea how I was going to pay for GMU. And when she said in-state tuition and only $10,000 more, which actually really is a lot looking back at it, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But I would have to wait 1 whole year to transfer. So I ended up going to Nova for 3 years. I had to take 2 Spanish credits, which I didn't have to take the transfer to George Mason University. And I had to take another music credit as an elective. I was also applying for Georgetown and UVA, which, looking back at it a year later after that, UVA only accepts 34 students into their transfer program, and Georgetown 20. So luckily, I wasn't good at research at all at that time, so I didn't look up those numbers. So it was the best decision I made in my life, because I sat down with Josephine, the mother who took me in, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a partial gap year. I don't know what stands me out amongst everyone else in the nation that is going to allow me to get into those schools, but I want to do something different. I want to feel like my time is worthwhile. So if I take a year and go to school part-time, at least I feel like I didn't waste my time taking 2 Spanish credits and sitting around the house. So she was like, well, you liked Phi Theta Kappa this year. You liked developing those clubs and making a difference. Why not go and develop businesses? And I was like, cool, that's awesome. Except I didn't know how to manage business. I never even started a business. And I chose to do that for some random reason. Over my 3rd year, I would do 5 Archimere-related projects. One of them still exists today, which is a textbook site. That worked pretty well because I was a student, and the students like cheap textbooks. And I also took up a project at my community college, which there was no student government. And I was basically said, I'm going to co-found student government at campus, and I ended up becoming its first president. What I learned in my 3rd year, which was really great, is I learned that not only do I like marketing, but I kind of realized what career I wanted to go into, which was entrepreneurship. And the reasoning why was because I liked that I found out for student government and for entrepreneurship that I could choose projects that I wanted to choose to work on that could develop people. I liked that what I was doing on campus was something that was making a difference. I was able to help people. And I realized that, that's what I wanted to do as a career. And it was a deciding choice of why I chose the school I went into as well. But that was great. At that time, though, I would get into my school on April 27th, 2012, and it'd be the best day of my life. I got into McIntyre, and I also got into Georgetown. I didn't know 100% what I wanted to do or why I liked marketing or why I liked entrepreneurship. I actually, 2 days before I transferred to McIntyre, the student activities coordinator, Tiffany Lang, she was giving basically compliments to all these different people at Cheesecake Factory, the student orientation assistant to the tour guides. And she had said that pretty much what I like about Josh is that he goes out and he likes to develop people. And he really takes the time to do that. And she put everything in perspective. I mean, that's how I figured out that aha moment in about an hour, what I like doing. But it was a 4-year process, actually, in figuring that out. And that gets to my point of this whole long 10-minute story. Which is, one of the biggest things that goes on for community college is that you don't know what you want to do. I wanted to be an attorney in my senior year of high school. I realized that that may have not been the career for me. For the people who know what they want to do, that's great. My best advice for you is to go out and try it. If you want to be an attorney, if you want to go be a biologist, if you want to be a researcher, go and try to work as an entry-level position in that job. If you want to work at a biologist, go volunteer at a hospital. If you want to be an attorney, volunteer at a law firm. The only way I was able to figure out what I wanted to do was by actually doing it. And when everything came to shove and I didn't know what I wanted to do and I was trying to figure that out, the way I figured out and got my groove back was I actually just did it. I did different things. I joined student life where I realized I liked marketing. I did a lot of Archimere-related projects, anything from selling textbooks to selling scarves to trying to do a t-shirt company. And then by doing 10 or 12 things, huge things over the course of about 4 years, I was really able to figure out what I love doing and what career I could surround that by. And I always joke around that you're dating your degree and you're marrying your job. So if you can come out of Nova, if you're Nova bound, knowing what you love doing and knowing what career you want to major in. Before going to UVA or GMU, first off, you're going to save a lot of money. Second off, you're actually going to be so much better prepared than all the third years going in from UVA. What I didn't realize, a lot of comm school students major in commerce because they don't know what they want to do. And I didn't even realize that, but it was a reliable degree. Knowing what you want to do will set you apart from all of your class. If you can do that at Nova, that's going to be amazing. And the point of this second story is to get involved with your own life and just do it.